Jesus stands in the middle of history and beckons and points. And that figure, that beckoning and pointing figure, remains a haunting presence in culture. It's a fascinating thing. Some years ago, I was listening to the radio coming up just before Easter, and there was a performance of J.S. Bach's Matthew Passion, the Passion according to St. Matthew. And it was a full orchestral and choral setting. And it was being produced on stage, and it was broadcast over the radio, but it was produced on stage as a sort of semi-staged version. And the producer, who was not, I think, a practicing Christian, gave a talk on the radio and said that whatever your background, whatever your beliefs, whatever your starting point, when you live through this story, the story of Jesus of Nazareth going to his death, particularly when it's set to music by somebody like J.S. Bach, it becomes a story in which every man, woman, and child can find themselves somewhere, can find their own desires, their own sorrows, their own tragedies, their own triumphs, maybe, all within that story. And so it's one of the extraordinary things about Jesus, and my recent book, Broken Signposts, actually tries to bring this out, that of all the things that humans long for in this world, justice and freedom and truth and so on, when we look at the story of Jesus, we see them all collapsing on top of Jesus as justice is denied, as Pilate says, what is truth, as his friends run away or betray him or whatever. All the things which are tragedies in our lives become Jesus' tragedy. So when we look at Jesus, whether it's in a painting or a picture or in our imagination or as we read the story in the Bible, Jesus is compelling. He is compulsive. As I say, he stands in the middle of history and says, follow me. And those who have followed him find that he becomes a presence to them, and they become a presence to him. And within that strange new relationship, they are caught up in a movement which the early Christians called the kingdom of God. You could call it the kingdom of God's love, love going out into all the world with the breath and power of Jesus, not only through us into the world, but also for us personally, to transform us with that sense of security and being loved and gratitude for all that he was and is. That's why it's always the thing to do, to look hard at Jesus and to listen and follow his summons to follow him.